Alright, welcome everyone to a new video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the cup and handle pattern. In this video we are going to go over all of the different details that you need to know, as well as how to successfully trade this pattern. So let's hop right into it. The first thing that's important to know about a cup and handle pattern is that it's a continuation pattern, meaning that this is a pattern that simply represents a pause in the overall uptrend. So naturally the cup will start at the point where the stock has hit its peak. At that point, selling pressure will come in, thus pushing the stock to retrace part of its previous gains. The stock then horizontally consolidates for a while and reverses gradually to go all the way up back to its previous highs. At this point, the stock encounters resistance and reverses with a slight downward slope, forming the cup's handle. So when trading a cup and handle pattern, it's important to be aware of 4 different aspects. The first being the length that it takes to form the cup. In terms of time, the pattern can take as little as 7 weeks to form the cup and handle, and on the long end, it can take up to over a year. Generally speaking, the longer the pattern takes to form, the stronger signal it gives once it breaks out. Okay, so the next thing to consider is the cup's curvature. What we want in this case is a very nice rounded shape, which points to a lot of consolidation having taken place. On the flip side, we don't really want to have a V-shaped cup, which would indicate a very sudden change in sentiment. And the third point to take into consideration is the cup's depth, which we ideally don't want to go too deep. And same thing goes with the cup's handle, which we don't want to retrace more than half of the cup's depth. Otherwise, we're just not talking about the same pattern anymore. After all, the cup and handle pattern is a continuation pattern. We don't absolutely need to see the right-hand side of the cup reach the previous high's resistance level, but it is more ideal. If ever it is the case that the handle forms at a lower level than the previous high, it just indicates that we would need a stronger breakout to occur. And finally, the last item worth considering would be volume throughout the pattern's evolution. As the cup is forming, what we ideally would like to see is volume decreasing alongside the stock price and remaining below average at the bottom of the cup. Then once we pass the bottom of the cup, we want to see the volume start increasing alongside the price action forming the right-hand side of the cup. And finally, of course, as with any other breakout, we would like to see above average volume to act as confirmation. And just to be noted, it is possible and not a big deal if we see decreasing volume during the handle part of the pattern. But what counts more at the end of the day is the volume at the breakout level. So how do we trade the cup and handle pattern? Let's take a look. Alright, so just to put things simple, the upper right-hand side peak of the cup will act as resistance, which is the level where we want to see our breakout. And finally, the lower hand side of the handle will represent support. What we want to do in this case is place the trade once the stock breaks through the resistance level that I was talking about previously. And to know if the breakout is in fact going to be true and sustained, you can use various breakout confirmation methods, which is an extremely important topic which I covered on my YouTube channel in the past. I will put the specific link to that video in the description below. Alright, and the final topic I want to discuss with this pattern is when should you take profits? Of course, things can vary from pattern to pattern and depending on the strength of the move, but a common method that is used by many traders is to look at the depth of the cup, take that depth and put it on top of the resistance level, at which the up-hand side of that range would be where you would take profits. That pretty much concludes all of my thoughts with regards to the cup and handle pattern. I really hope that this video brought you some value, and if it did, if you wouldn't mind just dropping a like for me, I would really appreciate that. If you are interested in pursuing your journey on learning all things technical analysis and patterns, I made a dedicated 15-part series on my channel doing exactly that. If that is also something that interests you, I will put that link in the description below for you to check out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.